All right, so like I said, make sure you've got your notes out, you've got your calculators out, and you're familiar with where the sin, cos, and tan buttons are. They are 3 above the 7, 8, and 9 on your calculator. Those are your abbreviations for sine, cosine, and tangent, the trig ratios that we went over yesterday. And today we are going to be using trig ratios to find side lengths, to find triangle, and let's say to find right triangle, side lengths. I highly encourage you to write the acronym SOHCAHTOA on top of each page that you're working on when you're working with trig ratios. More mistakes are made because ratios are written wrong because someone doesn't want to refer to the acronym. All right, so sine equals opposite over hypotenuse, cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent equals opposite over adjacent. Extremely important in what we're doing today and tomorrow and on your quiz. So let's get a triangle on your paper. And we're going to be finding the value of x. In all of the examples that we do today. So you're given this right triangle, you're given a 25-degree angle, you're given one side that's 18, and you have to find a second side. Now, the first thing that you do is, in relation to the angle given, I want you to label the two sides that you're working with. In relation to this 25-degree angle, this side here that's represented by the x, that side is opposite, isn't it? That side is opposite of the angle. The 18, that side is adjacent to the angle. That's all we're worried about. The side you're trying to find and the side that's given. Label them. Then you ask yourself, which ratio deals with opposite and adjacent? And what is that? Which ratio deals with opposite and adjacent? Tangent? Doesn't tangent equal opposite over adjacent? So you write this equation. You write tan, short for tangent, 25 equals the opposite side, which is x, over the adjacent side, which is 18. Everybody understand that step? Tan, as messy as that is, tangent of 25 equals the opposite side over the adjacent side. That's the whole key right there. The next thing you do is you solve for x. And you do that by multiplying both sides by 18. The two 18s on the right, they cancel out. And in your calculator, if you're using the TI-30XA that I asked you to buy back in August, Here's what you're going to type. 18 times 25 tan means push the tan button and hit equals. And you should get 8.39. And that's equal to your x. So the side right here that's opposite of the given angle is 8.39 units long. We're rounding everything to the nearest hundredth. If you're not getting 8.39, it's probably because you're not pushing equals as your last button, or you don't have your calculator set at second fix 2. All right, so let's do another one. We've got a right triangle with a 70-degree angle. A side that's 15 and a side that we're trying to find. Label the sides. The side opposite the 90-degree angle is always the hypotenuse. The side next to the 70-degree angle is adjacent. The acronym is SOHCAHTOA. Which ratio deals with adjacent and hypotenuse? Cosine. So we write cosine 70 equals cosine equals the adjacent side, which is 15, over the hypotenuse, which is the variable. Cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. All right, now you've got an extra step involved when this x is in the denominator. When the x is in the denominator, the first thing we do is we multiply both sides by x. On the left-hand side, we get x times cosine 70 equals. On the right-hand side, these two x's cancel out, and the 15 falls down. The next step is to divide both sides by cosine 70. Now the cosine 70s cancel out and the x comes down. In your calculator, you type 15 divided by 70 cosine, hit equals 43.86. Any questions so far? Yeah. You type 15 divided by 70 cosine, hit equals. All right, in this triangle, we have a 27-degree angle. We've got a side that's the variable we're trying to find, and we've got a hypotenuse that's 21. So again, I'm going to label these. The variable is opposite of the given angle. The other side that's given is opposite the 90-degree angle, so it's the hypotenuse. Which ratio deals with opposite and hypotenuse? Sine. So sine 27 equals the opposite side over the hypotenuse. When the variable's in the numerator, it's basically a one-step equation. We multiply both sides by the 21. On the left-hand side, you type 21 times 27 sine equals, I get 9.53. On the right-hand side of this equation, the 21s cancel, and the variable comes down. So the length of that side is 9.53. Everybody doing all right? I'll take no response as a yes. All right, in this example 4 here, we've got a 59-degree angle. Our hypotenuse is what we're solving for, and our adjacent side is 12. I'm labeling the sides again. We've got our hypotenuse and our adjacent. Adjacent and hypotenuse would be cosine. So our equation is cosine 59 equals the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. All right, variable in the denominator, we get an extra step. So multiply both sides by x. On the left-hand side, we get x times cosine 59. On the right-hand side, the x's cancel and the 12 comes down. Gonna divide both sides by cosine 59. The cosine 59s cancel out, and our x is equal to 12 divided by 59 cosine, and hit equals last. So 23.30. All right, I got 2 more examples we're going to work together here. Now, what I would suggest on these last 2 problems is once you draw the triangle and I give you the information, just don't look up again. Do the problem on your own. I won't say anything. And check your answer when we're done. So here's what we got in this problem. We got a right triangle. We got one side that's 11. We got a 17-degree angle. And we got the side we're trying to find. So once you draw that, I don't want you to look up again unless you get completely stuck. And I'm going to do the problem without saying anything. Any problems with that example? All right, got one more for you, and then some practice for you to do on your own. All right, again, I'm labeling the sides. Our variable is opposite. Our side given is hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse is sine, so sine 75 equals the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Multiply both sides by 34. On the left-hand side, 34 times 75 sine. And make sure you always hit the equals button last. So 32.84 equal to our variable. Any questions on any of those examples? All right, then your practice for today is going to start on page 573. 8 through 10, 28 to 33, and then 70 to 72. And as a reminder, these practice problems that I give you are to be 100% complete by tonight with the odds checked. And then it's your responsibility to go on focus and complete the electronic assignment. But then I look at the electronic assignment today and nobody's done it. 2 people have done it. I'm leaving it open for the whole week as a courtesy to those that are absent. But if that trend continues, the electronic assignments will start being open for 24 hours. And you'll have until midnight each night to complete them. I see a lot of people in class, they're on their phones. They're doing something else other than the assignment. They're listening to music. None of that stuff is supposed to be happening in class. Your phones are supposed to be put away. Your headphones are supposed to be put away. You're supposed to be working on the assignment that I've given, checking your odds in the back of the book, and asking questions on the problems that you're struggling with. And I feel like you guys are taking advantage of my niceness, and I'm not going to let that happen any longer. So do what you're supposed to do, or I'm going to make things extremely difficult moving forward.